Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our panel of discussion. Today, the topic matter is protection of infant industries. What is protection of infant industries? An infant industry is an industry within a country that is protected by government rules and regulations. This allows the industry to mature over time to reach its full potential. But does it always? Does it really reach its full potential? And is protectionism good? Who are the winners and who are the losers? To protect or not to protect? That is the question. I have my panel of debate over here who will open the floor to our first guest, Francesco Andrioli. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your invitation, guys. I just have a short question for you. I was traveling a lot, and I was in the army, and Swiss guns, for example, partial Swiss guns are like protecting from the industry is protecting, and the quality is really high. So I'm just asking, yeah, protected or not? Do we have a Ukrainian example, right, Katya?
Yes, well, we have a great example of success of protected Ukrainian car industry. So, this industry has the protection, the incredibly high level of investment. So, what we expected from this, the most famous Ukrainian car Slavuta was launched in 1999. It was the infant industry. So, what we expect in 10 years, this and what we get. So it's success, right? So what we have, lack of innovation, market stagnation, and this.
Okay, great.
This is the reality.
Yeah, you're right. I can say something. 2 years ago, I was traveling in Latin America, and I would just try the coffee, Venezuelan coffee, and it was really good. Quality was really tasting, and you know already. And I recently searched about it, and it's a protected industry, right? We have here a Venezuelan student that can talk about it.
Yeah,
right?
In Latin America, this is something that we have tried since the 80s, and it hasn't worked for us. For example, the coffee industry in Venezuela, our quality coffee is as good as Colombia, but the government has protected this industry, and the industry gets the wrong idea of the market. They think they are doing it quite well and hire more and more people, and then the government and the industry are caught in the same trap, because the government is not going to cut the subsidy, so it won't increase unemployment, and then the company is not going to fire anyone. So this hasn't worked. Even if you got a quality product, the infant industry argument, it doesn't work in our countries.
Okay, that's a great point, but I have a better point. Singapore is one of the highest ranked GDP, is one of the third, right? And I think here we have a Malaysian Singaporean student here that can answer something about this.
Yes, I guess everyone here knows that Singapore is the best in the world in terms of doing business. So Singapore left Malaysia 50 years ago with no natural resources at all. Can you imagine this tiny little country? I guess you can't find it. That has no natural resources. It's doing 7 times better than the resourceful Malaysia in terms of GDP per capita. And as he said, it's a third in the world. Just because of this protection, we can see that in reality, it is not helpful at all in the long run. Well, we do see some successful examples in the past, like in Japan, UK, US, and South Korea. But the thing is, now they do not suggest the developing country to use the same way they used before. And in fact, we can see that infant industry is actually inducing corruption that will actually slow down the country's growth. So we believe that this industry shouldn't be protected. Are you convinced?
Yeah, actually I have no words anymore, really. I'm convinced. And I can especially say something about 3 points here that are really important, that really personally I learned about it, and you should also know about it. First of all, free trade from the Ukrainian cars example. I can say that free trade can increase competition between the markets, and if you have not this protected philosophy, you have more competition and the quality can be higher of the product. Secondly, from the Venezuelan coffee, I can say the quality of this job maybe are not really good at it. And
1 minute.
without a protectionism, you can decrease the quality of increase the quality of the job and decrease the unemployment rates. And third, from the Malaysian example, allocating your resources, allocation of resources is really important and can grow up your economy, especially if you have more competition. Okay, thank you guys. I'm really convinced now. No, wait a second, it's not finished.
Thank you very much, Francesco. I'm glad we were able to convince you, for you to see our perspective. And I know definitely convince the class that the protectionism of infant industries just isn't viable. To protect or not to protect? We say not to protect. The stagnation, the lack of innovation, and finally, corruption. A lot of this doesn't work for countries that are just coming up and that have a lot of corruption. There's a strong correlation between the protection and the success of infant industries. I hope you understand now, and I thank you for being part of our debate.
Let's start the fight.
One counter.
Make a debate. My name is Victor.